Hey guys, I was just thinking there's so many YouTube videos of people getting bit by snakes. Let's try to make a video on how not to be bit by a snake. Let's start off with the fact that there's no really such thing as an aggressive snake, so most bites are going to come from either food response or self-defense. So a snake goes through a couple things when you open the enclosure. They say, am I going to get food or am I in danger? So the fact is they might be trying to get away to protect themselves or bite. You know, they're backed into a corner in the tub, so in order to defend themselves they may have to bite. It's important to realize that distinction as far as a food bite. You want to get the snake out of food mode, you know, as soon as you open the enclosure. Let them know that they're not being fed. See, a great way to break that food response, like this jungle, you can see his neck is essed up pretty good right now, obviously meaning that he is ready to strike. So a good way to take this away is just kind of use the hook to face his head away from you here. So what that's doing is it's taking this snake out of food mode and putting him more into defensive, and quite frankly this snake isn't very bitey as far as defending themselves. So I didn't really want to put this in there, but I was making a video on how not to get bit and I got bit. So what happened there is that I was handling the animal, you know, got to he was being flighty, just a little bit nervous around, you know, being handled and stuff. No snake really needs to be handled. You don't have to take your snake out and give it handling time, or else it's going to be unhappy. You know, snakes in the wild, they're never handled and they're doing just fine, and they're, you know, in a captive situation. You know, these aren't domesticated animals that need to be held. So the animal was getting a little flighty. I was holding him and then he realized my hand was there, so a quick defense bite, just a little nip and then let go, and you know, did the job. I put him back in the tub. Some people may say that that's bad conditioning in the fact that every time you get bit you put him back, but I don't think snakes remember that, to be honest. It's just going to be his nature. You know, I'm not going to force the snake to be social, because no snake should really have to be social. The ones that are social are ones that seem to just be okay with being handled. Just wanted to reiterate that the bites aren't a big deal. You know, they do have a little anticoagulant, as far as there's a lot of enzymes in a snake's saliva that allow them to break down prey and allow them to hunt effectively. So, you know, they have so many little needle-like teeth that go through your hand pretty well, and recurved teeth that kind of hold on, but it does bleed a lot. But at the end of the day, it's just like a few little pricks, you know, only a few teeth get into you, and it's really not a big deal. And don't think that every snake is going to be like that, as far as be food aggressive or defensive. You know, there's some species of snake that they don't bite at all. Their natural inclination is to run away. So I mean, there's a whole lot of snakes out there. You know, jungle carpet pythons are definitely ones that can be more food aggressive. Also, it goes by general, from snake to snake, you know, they all have different personalities. So if I take this snake on top and I hold her, you know, she'll be totally fine. And also, you can see at different times, on different days, snakes will even act differently. You just got to pay attention to the signs, as far as, you know, body posture is very important. Also, that is the first time that jungle python ever bit me, so just happened to be when I was filming this. So as you can see, they are very attentive. As soon as you open the tub, you know, they're looking around, trying to see what's trying to come into my tub. What am I dealing with? And then this girl, she's really not aggressive. Now she's getting a little scared because she just doesn't know what's going on. So even though she's probably fine, what I'm gonna do is take the hook and just move her head to the other side and grab her from behind. So what I'm gonna do is disarm her by kind of putting her into a defense mode with the hook. So you're getting that head away from you. Then you really want to wait until she's in a favorable situation to where her head's going to be facing the other way. And then that's really it. Once they're out of the enclosure, you're pretty much good to go. So as you can see, that was just simply a food response at first. And you know, she's as docile as can be. And then while you're handling snakes, don't make any sudden movements, especially in front of their face. So just imagine yourself as a branch of a tree. Just let them run around, kind of do their own thing, let them go through your fingers. Especially carpet pythons are going to be so curious and be exploring everywhere. So the green tree python is definitely a species that can be a little defensive. A good thing to do is actually take the dowel with you. So once the snake is out of the tub and still on their dowel, it's much easier to, you know, kind of introduce yourself to it. And then I see her head now. Sometimes when her head first pops out, you can see that she's looking for food. Right now, seems like she was just sleeping and she's kind of, what's going on? And kind of naturally coax her to climb onto your hand here. Then we're just gonna unravel her very slowly. Let her kind of explore under her own free will. Trying to get the last of that tail off. There you go. These animals catch a whole lot of birds in the wild, so, you know, be your tree branch, but definitely don't be that bird coming on the tree. So this is a very docile animal. They're not all very docile. So maybe, you know, maybe it's best to just leave a green tree alone, but for this animal I can take her out. But also be wary, and also I don't do this very often. I mean, maybe once a month I'll take her on my hand. When I do take her out, even for pictures, stuff like that, I keep her on the dowel just so she can hang out and be comfortable. Green trees were previously known as being an aggressive species, a hard to handle species. If you do get a US captive born and bred green tree python, they are a lot more handleable, as well as a lot hardier than the old, you know, captive hatched farm bred babies are. So there's a lot of misconceptions out there, but I think we're starting to get a much better captively kept python. So definitely another snake that can sometimes be seen as a food aggressive or defensive would be a water python. And you can see right now she is ready to go, as far as, you know, very tight coiled up head here. But once you get her into a more of a defense mode, you know, you'll see she'll start running rather than, you know, essing up and ready to bite. See, now she's definitely trying, she definitely wants to get away, that's for sure. I can get to the point where I don't go in front of her face, let her go through my hands a couple times, and then she'll be totally fine. So all you have to do is get past that initial reaction. Is this food? Is this, you know, a predator, something that's gonna come hurt me? And then once you get past that, it takes a different time for different species. Once they see that you don't wanna hurt them and you have no food to offer at the moment. So, you know, hognose are a different story. They're not food aggressive, but they're always active when you do open their enclosure. And as you can see, they bluff a lot. So this would be her, you know, trying to get big, trying to scare me off. This is her defense. This is her natural response to someone coming in her enclosure. So I'm not really afraid of this snake biting me, but she will strike with her mouth open. And, you know, we want to avoid that as much as possible. But the fact is, she's just all talk. But you still want to pick her up from behind. Then once you get her out of her enclosure, she will admit defeat a little bit and let you hold her. And then she'll be perfectly calm because she knows she's not going to keep you from messing with her, and she knows that I'm not going to hurt her. I just kind of want to show you different personalities of snakes, even though they may be the same species. everything like that. You can see how easy it is for me to pick this girl up. You know, there's no hissing, no trying to get big with me, no messing around. She's just ready to go. So just remember, whenever you're picking up a snake, just always pick them up from behind. You know, the first thing, if they're sleeping, you can't really tell if they're sleeping. And the first thing they wake up to, they don't want to be a heated object that, you know, could be food. So guys, I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you made it this far, you're on the team.